You're listening to the Behind the Booth podcast with DJ iSizzle, where music, weddings, and unforgettable stories come to life. And now your host, DJ iSizzle.
What's going on, my fan sizzles? I wanted to show you this shirt. This is my Beetlejuice t-shirt right here. Super proud of it. Welcome. We are into episode 11. This is our third. Let me get the mic here. This will be our third Halloween episode. This will complete the trilogy of Halloween themed episodes and discussions on Behind the Booth with me, DJ iSizzle. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. We are very close to Halloween, which is like the best time of the year. So that is why I'm wearing my Nightmare Before Christmas jacket and my black fedora as well. And yes, of course, the Beetlejuice t-shirt. This is one of my new favorite t-shirts that I got this last year. All right, so let's get into it. So today's episode, we are going to be going full tilt. We're going to be talking about like wildest costumes I've seen, ultimate Halloween gig, and how you can turn chaos into pure dance floor magic. Buckle up, because this one is a monster.
Wedding reality check. What do you recommend, DJ iSizzle?
So, this is a wedding reality check. Costumes at your wedding. If you're having a wedding in Halloween. One couple, they took their October wedding to the next level. And what they did is they said costumes are required. Of course, we don't want tuxes. We don't want gowns. We just want pure Halloween. And I will never forget watching a groom dressed up. He was dressed up as Beetlejuice, dancing with his bride, who came out as Morticia Addams. Hopefully I got that name right. Instead of a cake cutting song, they asked for the Addams Family theme, complete with the finger snaps. So here's the truth. I thought that was a great idea. It was really fun. I love when couples step outside of traditional weddings. Not necessarily like in the traditions, but doing something like that where you make it a costume wedding versus just like a fall wedding, which, hey, if you love fall weddings, that's great. But I personally love this one. So here's the truth. I was talking to the bride and groom and they said like not every family member was on board with the whole idea of getting dressed up. They had a little resistance, but something I noticed when they started their ceremony before the pre-ceremony, we should call it the pre-funk, because they had an open bar before ceremony, which I think is a great idea too. If you drink as a couple and you have a crowd that loves to drink, I think having a pre-ceremony bar is a great idea. In fact, it's been some of the best weddings I've ever DJ'd when there's an open bar. So once the open bar opened, there was a few people that weren't in costume. I think they brought some because they eventually went out to the car and changed once they saw everybody else. So I think we'll just call him Uncle Bob. He was dressed up normal, and then he came back as Bob the Pirate. And he taught me one of the best lessons I can learn as a DJ is if a couple, excuse me for a second, I got an itch. If a couple wants to do a Halloween themed wedding, embrace it, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And once Uncle Bob leaned into the idea and got his pirate costume out of the car, I think that maybe it was one of the best weddings that he's ever been to, as well as I think the bride and groom had a great time. I know they did. They mentioned it later. And the whole vibe of the whole night and the wedding was great. So, all right, let's move on to segment number 2.
Dance Floor Diaries. Tell us more, DJ iSizzle.
So this is segment number 2, Dance Floor Diaries, and this is the ultimate Halloween gig. So I got a question the other day, and it was the craziest Halloween gig, DJ iSizzle, you've ever done. And it was a warehouse rave in Seattle. And every room had a different horror theme. There must have been at least a dozen of them. And The stage I played, it was called the Crypt. So there was fog machines everywhere, strobe lights cutting through skeleton props, and dancers in vampire makeup grinding on coffins. It was wild. So halfway through my set, a performer like in a werewolf suit, he jumped on the stage and started hyping the crowd with me, and looks at me, woo, and does that to the crowd. Um, it was absolute pure chaos, but it was honestly, I wish I would have had somebody recording it. Hopefully there's some video of it somewhere. But it was pure magic. And it's all about creating an immersive experience where music, visuals, and energy collides. And those are going to be the best Halloween parties. And honestly, some of the best gigs I've ever played are when all those elements come together. So that was my ultimate Halloween gig right there. I'm hoping that I'm going to have some more, if not to top that Halloween gig as well. So let's move on to the next segment.
Your wedding energy hack. Tell us more, DJ iSizzle.
All right. So Halloween parties, as we've been talking about, get pretty wild because people are masked, they're dressed up, they're playing a character that they don't play every day. And in that, it makes you feel like a little kid again. And I think that you really have to embrace controlled chaos. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll look in a crowd and I will look for costumes. If I see Wednesday Addams, I'll play the Lady Gaga song. If I see Mario, I will play the Super Mario Brothers theme. If I see Beetlejuice, I will play the well, I won't play the theme, but I'll play a lot of the popular music from Beetlejuice the movie. So that is something. Excuse me, I apologize. I have there's something in this room that's making my nose itchy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the cobwebs. Who knows? But something that I was going to say is that when you see a monster on the floor, feel free to play Monster Mash. This is just something that I've kind of learned. Like when you see Princess Leia walking towards you, if you see Darth Vader, put on the Darth Vader theme, put on the Star Wars theme. What it does is it lets people know you're paying attention to them, and it makes them feel like the superstar because now they have a theme song walking into the club, walking into the party. And it's just fun because you'll get a lot of like guests that will look at you and be like, "Hey, how did you know to play that?" And I'll be like, I'm just good." But the truth is you want to go in and have all these songs preloaded into a playlist. You want to research all the most popular costumes of this year, have all those songs and themes, have them in one folder so you can quickly just type it in, load it up on your deck, and then play the song as people walk in. So it makes for a lot of fun. So that is my party energy hack that will definitely get people thinking and talking about you for years to come. All right, let's do segment number 4. This is one of my favorites, Request Roulette. Funniest Halloween requests. Let's go.
Request Roulette. Do you take requests, DJ iSizzle?
So during a costume wedding, a guy dressed as Shrek requested All Star by Smash Mouth. Now, All Star is a good song. It's a great sing-along song. But is it a song that you want to drop at peak energy? Maybe. I mean, it's possible. It's a good singable song. You don't have to play the whole song. But I kind of hesitated for a second because normally I put that up front. Like, come on, it's time to get your game on. But then I thought, why not? Sometimes you just got to embrace a request and say, you know what, that is a really well-known song. And later in the night, you like to put on some of those really well-known songs, as well as early in the night, too. So I dropped it and the crowd went insane. And suddenly you see vampires, zombies, witches all singing along to, dun is gonna roam. You know the lyrics. And everybody was singing at the top of their lungs. And I guess sometimes like the moral of those stories is like, I feel like especially at a Halloween, like Shrek is huge. So if you can drop that one on the right moment of the song, or even just hype people before you bring it in. And then also a lot of times with a request, if you're not sure about a request, make sure that you let people know that Shrek just requested this song. And then, that should that should help. And sometimes you have to like build into a request. You can't just drop a request, because the person who requests it, they usually have like 4 or 5 friends that want to hear it as well. So definitely lean into requests, and sometimes your requests by Shrek become the highlight of the night. So something to think about. All right, segment number 5.
Track of the episode. Play us a banger, DJ iSizzle.
So my track of the episode is none other than the new single Vampire Love featuring Nova Bell. This one captures the dark, romantic side of Halloween. Nova Bell's silky vocals float over a hypnotic beat that builds into a drop dripping with gothic energy. It's eerie, it's seductive, and it's the perfect song for the dance floor when you need that spooky slow burn vibe before exploding into full chaos again. I have dropped Vampire Love a few times this year at costume parties, and the reaction is incredible. Couples dancing close like it's a vampire's ball. Sometimes while others, they kind of sway in the shadow before the beat kicks in. It's a mysterious, cinematic, and pure Halloween magic track. It's called Vampire Love, and it features Nova Bell. And it's by this DJ named DJ iSizzle. You guys should check it out. And speaking of which, I have segment number 6 coming up. It is called iSizzle Music Update, Haunted Dance Floor Tour Idea. Let's go.
iSizzle Music Update. Fresh drops and big news.
I do a lot of weddings, a lot of glow dances, a lot of corporate events. And I've been thinking how much fun it would be to take this compilation I've been working on and turn it into an actual tour. And I don't know how big of a tour, maybe a 5-6 night tour, just something simple, nothing too huge at first. See what happens. See if the people feel it. And I thought it would be cool to like have everybody dress up in different costumes and then highlight everybody, maybe have some costume contests. We'll bring in the fog machine. We'll bring in some remixes of Vampire Love and maybe Get Wild When the Werewolves Bite. So my question is, leave it in the comment. Would you like to show up to a haunted dance floor tour? Something real simple, nothing too big, but intimate enough that we can have a great time and we can connect. I would want to hear from you. Drop a comment in there. Let me know. Also, what costume would you wear? Who would you be? And then what track from the haunted dance floor would you love to rock out with me on? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's go on to segment number 7. This is the Spotlight Shoutout.
Spotlight Shoutout. Who is the best in the Northwest, DJ iSizzle?
All right, so this week's shoutout goes to Greystone Castle in Arlington, Washington. This venue feels straight out of a fairy tale, and with its grand halls, dramatic architecture, and mysterious vibe, it's perfect for a Halloween-themed event. Matter of fact, I'm DJing a private 40th birthday party this Halloween. Wow, I can't even believe that's amazing. I'm truly blessed. And the combination of the castle's atmosphere, spooky decor, and dance floor, I feel are going to make this like one of the most unforgettable nights. And if you are looking for a haunted historic experience with amazing vibes, check out Greystone Castle. It is definitely worth checking it out. Highly recommend it. If you have not checked it out, there's plenty of videos online of it too. It's really cool. If you've never been to a castle, you got to check out Greystone Castle. All right, that's my spotlight shout out. Greystone Castle in Arlington, Washington. I guess it's time for the outro.
Final thoughts. I'm going to miss you, DJ iSizzle.
All right, my fan sizzles. I want to say thank you so much for stepping behind the booth with me, DJ iSizzle. This was episode 11, Costumes, Chaos, and the Ultimate Halloween Gig. If you are enjoying the Halloween trilogy, make sure that you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share, leave a comment down below. Let me know, who has the most spookiest vibes when it comes to your friends. Like, what are some epic party stories you'd love to share with me? I'd love to hear them. I would absolutely love to hear them. And then also, leave me a comment about what you'd like me to talk about. We're coming up into November now, so we're going to full on fall mode. We're got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. That's going to be pretty cool. We got some themed Thanksgiving shows and we got some themed Christmas shows. We're going to do Christmas all month. Can't even wait for that. We got New Year's coming up. It is going to be a good fall into winter season. I am looking forward to it. What else? Oh yeah, make sure that you stream The Haunted Dance Floor. Make sure you share it with a friend. Let people know you love it. Leave a like on any of the songs, and then also drop me a comment and let me know what your favorite track is on The Haunted Dance Floor. All right, we're going to cut this one short just because I got to go play a gig here in a minute. But I wanted to talk to you guys, and I wanted to just see how everybody's doing and wish you a happy Halloween, Halloween season. The cobwebs are in here tonight. There is something in my nose. I cannot get rid of it. Until next time, keep the music loud, the costumes wild, and the dance floor alive. Stay spooky and stay sizzling. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Behind the Booth podcast hosted by DJ iSizzle. Remember to keep the music loud, the energy high, and your memories unforgettable. See you next time.